President Obama submits his budget proposal to Congress, while New Hampshire holds its first primary election. And Matt LeBlanc is no longer our friend.
Today is February 9th, 2016. I'm Regan Blisset.
I'm Kelly Collins, and this is Laker News. A marquee proposal in President Obama's budget, which officially heads to Congress on Tuesday, will call for doubling clean energy research funding by 2021 as a way to combat climate change. The proposal is part of the historic Mission Innovation Climate Change Agreement reached in November by world leaders in Paris. Other initiatives to be unveiled in the proposal of 2017 budget included increased investment in clean transportation to reduce carbon pollution that would add a $10 a barrel tax on oil, a two-year $1 billion moonshot to cure cancer led by Vice President Biden, and a two-year $1 billion effort to address the nation's opioid epidemic by expanding treatment for heroin and prescription drug abuse.
The first primary of the U.S. presidential election kicked off after midnight local time in 3 small New Hampshire towns. The voters may be small, but the implications are huge. Scott McLean is in Manchester, New Hampshire with an update.
The first in the nation primary is already underway. Voting at 3 tiny towns began at midnight.
Let's have the results.
In Dixville Notch, the most famous early poll, Bernie Sanders got all 4 Democratic votes. Not 100, not 1,000, just 4. While John Kasich beat Donald Trump 3-2. In Hart's location, Kasich won with 5 votes. Sanders won the Democratic side, and in Millsfield, Ted Cruz won the Republican ballot with 9 votes. Clinton won that contest for Democrats, receiving 2 votes to Sanders' 1. While these 3 towns don't count for many votes, they're ahead in the only results that have been tallied in the state's crucial primary, at least until Tuesday night, when the rest of the state's results are in.
Ted Cruz, there's a chance he could pull off, we were talking about this earlier, of a second-place victory tonight. He's only 3 points behind Rubio. That would be huge, and it would show this is an outsider's election.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz was the target of a heckler at a Donald Trump rally, getting plenty of attention today.
You're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a That's terrible. Terrible.
On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton's camp is denying reports that she's going to shake up her campaign team after what looks to be a lackluster performance in New Hampshire.
2 commuter trains crashed head-on this morning in southern Germany, killing at least 9 people and injuring some 150, police said. The trains crashed in a remote area about 40 miles southeast of Munich near Germany's border with Austria. Both trains were partially derailed near a river that is surrounded by dense woodlands and uneven terrain, making it difficult to reach. Germany's news agency DPA said that the train line was once used by commuters and school children, but that it was less busy than usual because schools in the area were on vacation.
People across New Orleans today are marking the culmination of Mardi Gras season with elaborate floats, eccentric costumes, and marching bands. Mardi Gras is the city's biggest tourist attraction, and thousands of people have converged on the city in recent weeks to see the elaborate parades, floats, marching bands, and dance groups that wind through the city streets. And while much of the city's Mardi Gras activities are family-oriented, in the French Quarter, many people will be partying and celebrating into the evening. After the celebration and revelry of Fat Tuesday is over, Wednesday marks the beginning of Lent, a solemn period of penance and spiritual renewal for many in this largely Catholic city.
A Wendy's fast food restaurant got a customer it wasn't expecting when a live alligator was tossed through a drive-thru window. Joshua James, 23, of Jupiter, Florida, allegedly pulled up to the drive-thru window for his order, got a drink from the employee, and then threw the 3.5-foot alligator into the restaurant. James faces charges of aggravated assault and unlawful possession and transportation of an alligator. The incident occurred in October, but James was arrested by U.S. Marshals this week. The alligator was released back into the wild.
After several employees were diagnosed with cancer during last year, the Rush Henrietta Central School District in upstate New York will decide today whether to test one of its middle schools for contamination. The State Department of Health cautioned that suspected cancer clusters often end up being statistical anomalies, so it has suggested the district to do an environmental survey of Roth Middle School, first to see whether there are any possible risk factors. The preliminary inspections is